You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 161.
161, I'm Ralph, a.k.a. Ralph Targaryen, leader of the first men, first of his name, devourer, lemon pepper, lift of weights, all that.
I love it. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter, it's Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. Our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there. And we are on TikTok, Oversaturated the Podcast. Make sure you follow us, comment on our videos, get our views up. Holla at us.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON, 2 underscores, the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Holla at us. Ralph, my guy, my pal. How art thou? Ralph Targaryen.
Yeah,
So we gotta speak in that in that dialect now.
Man, the King's English is real ruthless, man. I'm talking about it. But no, I'm good, bro. You know, we always have a pre-pod.
Yeah. Pre-pod banter.
Yeah, so now I'm good. It just for the people, the sinuses are under control for at least right now.
Yeah, right.
Took some Claritin, took a little stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm good now.
Nah, I feel
for
you.
now.
Yeah.
But Johnny, how you doing today, bro?
Man, I just want to shout out everybody that's adulting. I talked to Ralph about this in pre-production, but was doing my Saturday morning routine, headed to tennis and had a flat tire. End up having to buy a whole new set of tires. Woo. So we all know what that's like. So Lord have mercy.
4 new tires.
Four them things. Four brand new joints. New, like not used, not gently used, not slightly used. New.
They charging the wheel tax on the joints. That's how you know.
Man, then I had to pay for an alignment. Shit, it's crazy. It's a bunch of shit, man. It's crazy. It's crazy,
good,
man. But outside of that, I'm good though, man. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I went to a jazz festival yesterday as well.
It was in Clayton, right?
Clayton, yeah.
How was it?
It was actually pretty cool. There are a few bands. The one band that I really liked, they were called Bach to the Future. So like,
BACH.
yeah.
I got you.
But they remixed a lot of like nerdy songs like The Simpsons and a lot of Star Wars themes, but made it jazz. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like that was dope. The whole festival was cool. It was real chill. A vibe, as the kids say.
Yeah.
So no, it was cool. I love people watching, man. I love people watching. It was such a diverse demographic of people out there, and just seeing how people interact with each other, seeing how white men don't really interact with their ladies when they walk in, but then black men are, all embracing of their women. It's fascinating to see these types of spaces. That's all. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah. Me and Johnny talked about these things. Like I really want to go to festivals and shit, but then again, no, I don't.
Look,
I don't. Man.
we was saying, listen, if we knew that these festivals would operate at 50% capacity, I would be so
might be
much more intrigued. Well, I would be way more intrigued to go because it's way less people, and then you can actually like get in the food truck line. You can go get something to drink like without having to wait for a long time. So
just my social media just be on low sometimes, and I just don't. It's like the battery on this iPhone. It's trash. Right? So I have to stay close to my charger, and my charger is my home, where I lay my head. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Rolling Stone, huh?
Man, look,
I love it though.
I'm at the house, bro. Man, what we doing? Off the dome?
Off the dome. Let's do it.
I got one. entertainment question, right?
Yes.
Famous SNL alum Michael Myers, right? Everybody knows him as Mike Myers. He has 3 iconic roles, and I want you to rank them. Rain from Wayne's World, Shrek, or Austin Powers. Rank them 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, okay. We saying Wayne's World, Shrek, Austin Powers.
Yep.
Damn. So I think I'm going Shrek first, because I feel like Shrek, all the Shrek movies are just a phenomenon on their own. Adults, children alike, old people, like everybody loves Shrek. Yeah. Everybody loves Shrek. Yeah. So I'm going Shrek as 1. We said Wayne's World, Austin Powers. So this is a personal thing for me. So I'm going Wayne's World at number 2. Mm-hmm. Only because I think Wayne's World is fucking hilarious. Like I love Wayne's World, and even when the movies came out, like I was young, right? So I didn't know that was based off of an SNL skit. Mm-hmm. So, but going back and revisiting the SNL version of that, it's like, oh, like all right, this makes sense. So. Both Wayne's World 1 and 2, I love those movies. Mm-hmm. Hilarious movies, so I'm going with Wayne's World at 2, and then Austin Powers at 3. Not saying Austin Powers is trash, because I love Austin Powers. The Austin Powers is also hilarious, but Wayne's World just ranks above that for me.
No, I got you.
That's what's up.
I mean, definitely with me, I'll definitely go Shrek first, because Shrek is almost like a worldwide phenomenon. It's something about the story and the animation of it all, and hell, it even got spinoffs, Puss in Boots and all that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like it has its own world, right? I'm definitely going Austin Powers too. There's those movies that I just enjoy. The spy aspect, the satire of the changing of the decades from the 60s to the 90s and thereon. I just enjoy that type of witty comedy, and it was just silly as hell. And then Wayne's World's not bad to me, but it's just not something that I revisit often. Mm-hmm. But I understand the where it is and what it means to certain people. So I got it.
That's what's up. Got you. Good question. All right. Excuse me. So for my off the dome, sports related. So this year in 2022, we've had, I guess, the fake retirement of Tom Brady. He's back now. We have the retirement of Serena Williams, and then also Sue Bird, legendary WNBA player, has just retired as well. I thought she retired a long time ago. But with these retirements, these are individuals that have played their sport for decades, right? And I know there are a lot of people who are sad to see, like happy for them in their retirement, but sad to see them go, right? So I'm going to ask you, like, what sports player, any sport, are you going to be sad to see go when they retire? Anybody's career that you're, I guess, invested in that much that you will be sad when they go?
I mean, I could say Brady, but I mean, hey,
we already had one fake retirement.
We got 7 of them. I don't even know no more. Like, I don't know, like, because all the people that I was like emotionally invested in, like, they're either old or they're done now, right? Like, if my favorite sports franchise, at least in basketball, was the Spurs, all the great players are done now. So that ideation is gone. So we're actually pretty trash right now.
Got you.
And then I was always a Brady fan coming up, so looking at him now, I'm like, it is what it is.
It's about that time anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel
we always thought that, but somehow,
some way, right?
Somehow, some way. So, I mean, technically, you stumped me because I really don't have an answer for that. Because I'm not emotionally invested in one singular player right now.
Got you.
That I can think of. So
okay. So my answer, outside of Serena, of course, is Roger Federer. So Roger Federer just played his last professional tennis match this past Friday at the Laver Cup over in London, and so he hasn't played a professional match in a little bit over a year because of an injury, and I think during his time away healing and things like that, it probably just hit him like, you know what, it's probably time for me to go ahead and hang it up, be with my family and things like that. And the announcement came like a week before he even played in the Laver Cup, so nobody knew it was coming. So it was real emotional. So to be able to watch him in his last match, him give his speech thanking his entire team, his family, his wife who's been there since I can remember, and then seeing all of his rivals and peers that he has grown through the sport with, seeing them on the sideline as well, crying with him as he's crying, giving his speech. For me, it was real emotional because that's like my number one favorite tennis player of all time. So to be able to watch his career the way that I have in his peak and to see him, you know, as he started to slowly decline, it's like for me it was just real emotional. So I'm going Roger Federer.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So that's off the dome, man.
Yeah, that was off the dome. If you can rank Michael Myers' best characters, Shrek, Austin Powers, or Wayne from Wayne's World, what you got?
Yep. And then what sports players' retirement will make you sad when they decide to go? Let us know.
Always gang, what's happening? What's up? Family, kinfolk, what up?
What's happening?
We got a few things on the docket, but first, I'm finna get all medieval on you. I'm finna talk about House of Dragon.
Let's talk about
real quick. I'm Ralph Targaryen, man. House of Dragon. Usually we record these episodes before the new episode comes out. So whatever banter I have for you guys, it's definitely going to be a week behind, like that type of thing. But we're just pretty much in the world of Westeros. The Targaryens are beefing. Like the beef is starting to brew. Like it's starting to like simmer, right? Because Aegon is the king, but he's sickly. And his firstborn is his daughter named Rhaenyra. So she is fighting patriarchy and, you know, trying to be a princess, but they're not going to let her be queen. That's just not really how that thing works.
Got you.
So it's kind of, it's not weird. That's just how things, well, I don't know. It's just how things go. And then you got Daemon. Daemon is the uncle. He's kind of like the Scar. Like, kind of like something like that, right?
Right. Make it make sense. I love it.
Little bro mad because he can't be the king. His brother, he feel like his brother too weak to be king, and he just caused all kind of mayhem. Like, you know, you can tell by that boy wig he gonna be a problem, man. Damon is my dude. I like him. He's a problem. You know, it can get a little freaky, like, you know what I'm saying? Things get a little wild there, but just the relationship between those three about the power dynamic and the struggle definitely makes for entertaining TV. I think that this season has been very, very good. It started off pretty good. If you're just familiar with Game of Thrones banter, like it's kind of easy to kind of get into. The last episode was like a wedding, and usually in the Game of Thrones universe, if it's a wedding, shit about to get wow. Like, no, when niggas get murked out at the wedding, like, like
it's real.
Yeah, like that should be happening.
Stabby
stab, yeah, all that. But it was just like a lot of, like, they have arranged marriages and people be like fake gay. I mean, not fake gay, but like the dude was gay. Like, she was marrying their cousin. I was like, hey, it was a lot going on.
It was too much, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still entertaining, like, and that's pretty much what I'm getting at. So there are many time jumps in the show. So
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, because at first they was trying to set up Aegon to marry like a 9-year-old person, like a 9-year-old girl.
Yikes!
Because it was just like, you know, it's power dynamics when it comes to like royal weddings and things like that. You want to unite certain families. Yeah. So that's pretty much where that comes from. I mean, it's just wild to watch, but they're like time jumps and they don't really explain it. It's just kind of like it's understood.
Got you.
So like you'll see the child version of this person, and then the next episode you'll see like the evolved version of this person. So that's pretty much what's happening with Rhaenyra and her friend. I forgot what her friend's name is, but it's just a wild thing. And then, you know, people having kids, and it's just like, hey, yo. Like, like, so what we doing with this? Like, but, I mean, I really enjoy what the show is doing. And we'll just see. You know, we on episode, I think, getting ready to go to episode 6. So
okay, got you. Because I saw a tweet, and I was going to ask you about this. So between episodes 1 and 2, there's a 6-month time jump. Episode 2 and 3 is a 3-year time jump. Yeah. 3 to 4 is a 1-year time jump. 4 to 5 is like half a month, and then from episode 5 to 6 is 10 years. Yeah. So I was gonna ask, like, how does that, does that affect the show? Is it still good? Like, how? No,
it's done cleverly. Like, this is the only thing that's probably gonna throw most people off. If you're like, say if you just want to jump in at 5 and then you go to 6, you're like, wait.
God, okay.
Like, yeah,
that makes sense.
You have to understand it, like, oh, that's Rhaenyra, like, by the wig. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or just the actions or just what she's talking about. It's pretty fun to me. I enjoy it.
I got you. I ain't mad at it. While we talking about TV, listen, if y'all not watching season 4 of Atlanta, y'all need to watch. Like, episode 2 specifically of season 4, about the white lady and like her writing a children's book. The episode is about like spitefulness and pettiness. Like, phenomenal TV. Like it's season 4 gets back to season 1's and season 2's essence of what Atlanta actually is. So definitely check out season 4 if y'all haven't yet. I think we 3 episodes in and all 3 episodes have been great so far. So I'll just leave that there. I'll leave that there for y'all.
Yeah, that's funny, man. But speaking of thrones and fighting over the throne, right? We have Rihanna, who's actually poised to star in the halftime show in 2023 of the Super Bowl. Johnny, what do you have for this?
I know there are a lot of people excited about this, and I'm not mad at you for it because it's Rihanna. She hasn't performed or done new music, and I don't know how long, and I know people are really looking forward to that.
2016.
But I'm gonna keep it a buck. This news doesn't really excite me like that. It did. This news does not get me excited like the halftime show that was earlier this year, like with Kendrick and all of them. It doesn't. I'm not as excited. So I don't know. But coming off of who we thought was going to perform, which was Taylor Swift, because
it's nasty because they actually announced that she was going to do it. Like it wasn't rumored. No, they said.
So Taylor it was an actual. I didn't know it was an actual announcement. Yes. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh no, that's crazy. Oh, things are different now.
That's why I used the Game of Thrones reference.
That's crazy. I had no idea that was a real thing.
Wow. That was a real thing. Like I was like,
oh, them analytics came back.
I think they saw the timeline jumping. They was like, absolutely not. They was like, no.
Hey yo.
But I mean, I kind of expected. I was like, you gave us the blackity black hip hop, all that, jungle bunny music as they would call it. I was like, like I knew that they was gonna do this. Like I was like, we ain't finna get too many rappers again. Like that's why they sprinkled all them rappers on one thing. Like you think, man, what? So you had 6 rappers and an R&B artist. No, what you thought was gonna happen again? You thought was gonna spin the block on this? No,
it's true.
This is the NFL halftime show. Like this is white bread, middle of America type shit. Absolutely not.
Same shit happened with Donald Trump.
Like we are getting.
That's hilarious.
So. I was all Taylor Swift was actually on brand. Like, I mean, I would just go eat some more Rotel dip or something.
Man,
like, I'm not worried about this. Like, I mean, I don't really be pressed like that for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Me either.
It's just dope, if they do get somebody that I actually would enjoy to watch. But shout out to Rihanna. I mean, she deserves this type of a platform. She's a global superstar, icon, a pop star. Like she might have new music. I was going to ask you about that. Do you think she might have new music in the tuck if she's coming outside to perform for the Super Bowl halftime?
I mean, honestly, it would be wise of her to. I mean, what better promotion than to perform at one of the biggest like shows or events like on the planet, right?
Yeah.
And I think I've seen clips of her like going in and out of studios recently. So it could be that she has new music on the way. Well, hey, I think it would only be smart on her behalf to.
She dropped that baby off, man. It's time to get back to work.
Look, she got the ASAP got the baby. Rihanna already still doing her thing. I'm not mad at it though.
Nothing wrong with that. But no, I mean, it does make sense because I'm just thinking about the former pop stars that I can think of right now. Like I know Weeknd project came out around the time of his Super Bowl, right?
It did maybe like a few months before, but
or after or whatever. Yeah. Or he probably announced the tour after or something like that,
right?
So I can see Rihanna coming with new music very, very soon because, I mean, she can perform the old hits because that's what this is for.
Oh, facts.
Your platform is for that. You don't have to. You shouldn't debut anything new here. Really, you shouldn't. But it would take. We've seen people do that.
Oh, yeah,
we've seen Beyonce do that. You know what I'm saying? Just using that as an example.
Beyonce, Rihanna, those are the caliber artists that
can
are able to debut some new music at a Super Bowl halftime show. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm really not that excited. Of course, I'm gonna watch it because watch the Super Bowl. But it'll be dope. It'll be dope for her to have a set of all of her hits, just as a reminder. Hey. I'm still her, right?
I got plenty of that.
I'm her, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know. I don't know. It's cool, but like I'm happy everybody else is happy that she's performing. So that's really where I'm at with it.
I got you. No fancy segue for this, but let's just talk about it. Idris Elba, was up for the 007 role. Him being a naturally born British actor. He actually has expressed that he wanted to come out and play the James Bond moniker, right?
Right.
Well, he actually turned it down per the producers. Johnny, what do you have for this headline?
Now, as an actor, and I would say accomplished, as an accomplished actor that Idris Elba is, he has the right to turn down roles if he doesn't want them, right? Now, the reason he gave, actually, I don't think he actually gave a reason. I think for him, it could be one of two things, right? One is he's a little bit older. Like, I think he's 50-ish, if not there or around that age. And signing on to play James Bond 007, that's at least like a 10-year commitment, right? At least. And when Daniel Craig just finished his stint, when he started, Daniel Craig was 30. So a little bit younger, so he was able to fulfill that 10-year, 12-year contract or whatever. But in Idris's case, being 50 is like, does he really want to be locked into that type of contract for playing that particular character for that long? If he doesn't, I completely understand it. I get it, right? Or it could be maybe he doesn't want to deal with the quote-unquote backlash he would inevitably receive if he was actually cast. Because even the rumors of him being cast as 007, we've seen the Twitter trolls go crazy over that. Oh, James Bond should be white, even though this is a fictional character, right? Yeah. Crazy. So I feel like it could be one of those two reasons, but he has the right to decline the role for whatever reason he chooses,
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things. Like, I mean, salute to him. If he feels that this role is not, he's not saying it's beneath him. I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth right here. It's just that it just doesn't fit where he's at right now. Right. He's expressed interest in yesteryear, right? When he was probably more younger and able to commit to the contractual obligation, like you said. Would I have liked to see Idris play it since he's a black-born British actor? Hell, fucking yeah. Like, I mean, the James Bond movies, low-key, they'd be cool. Like, no. Yeah. The bare minimum be cool. Some of them be elite, and then some of them be like, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
So I can rock with it. And then, I mean, Idris has proved his acting chops as far as just being like an action type of star. So, Luther and other roles that he's played. So, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I was with the idea, but like we said, it's an ageism thing, right? I'm gonna exclude the color thing for right now. Yeah. Because, case in point, Mahershala Ali and Blade, right? What was always my point with that.
That he's too old to play Mahershala. That he's too old to play Blade, because in the MCU, you probably locked in for like 5 films or some shit. Like, and then 2 Avengers films after Blade, like.
Right. You ain't Samuel playing Nick Fury. Nick Fury ain't got to do
something. Right. He ain't got to do nothing.
Right. And then the few scenes he did, it was
introduce some motherfuckers.
And then the few scenes he did, it was like, hiya. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like
real simple.
It was real simple. So, or just shoot a gun.
Right. Exactly.
But no, you got to be on point when you James. Like the fight choreography for those films are always top tier, A1, those type of things. So, I mean. It's kind of like I mean, I would have loved to see it, just for I'm rooting for everybody black. That's my reasoning. Yeah, that's my reason.
So now, what since Idris has explicitly stated that he does not want to play James Bond, what other black Brit could you see in a role? There's only one person to me that comes to mind.
What, Snowfall?
No.
Oh,
that's not at all what I was thinking.
Oh,
I was thinking John Boyega.
Nah, I would prefer dancing.
Damn. I mean, what? I'm not mad at that.
I mean, if they was doing like a Craig Mack biopic or something, maybe he could play.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild. Damn, we need to. But no. But he probably wouldn't be able to do it anyway, John Boyega, because he's apparently signed to the MCU. They didn't say what he's playing, but he's playing something.
We'll see about that.
He might be playing a variant of Kang. No,
okay. That might be too.
All right, I was just saying.
But no, I mean,
that's speculation. I don't know.
No, we just talking.
Know. Just be talking.
But nah, man, let's talk about this, man. Talk about a business move, since we just talked about Idris turning down that contract. Swiss and Timberland have received their payout from Verzuz. Well, from Triller.
From Triller, yeah.
They own Verzuz.
4 verses.
4 Verzuz.
Yeah.
28 M's in the pocket, allegedly, coming through the wire transfer. But they say Verzuz will make a comeback. Johnny, what do you think about this headline?
First of all, round of applause for Swiss and Tim for actually getting money that they were
Promise, yeah.
promised.
Oh, yeah.
Contractually obligated to receive.
Yep.
So shout out to that, right? Cool. It's lit. I do not understand why they would continue to do business with Verzuz. I'm with Triller. Mm-hmm. Do they not think this won't happen again? Because even today, still, Triller is still in other lawsuits with other creators because they haven't paid them either. Oh. So, in my brain, in Johnny's brain, it's like, okay, we settled, we got our money, cool. Now, how do we move forward to separate these brands? Because you've already shown to me that you're not going to do right or can't do right for whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. So why would I continue to do business with Triller knowing these things? That's where my brain is.
I totally skipped over all that part, and I just heard Verzuz coming back, and I was like, no.
Damn.
Take your money and go.
Go. So, wait, are you saying take your money and then just disband Verzuz forever? Or are you saying take your money and go do Verzuz somewhere else?
No, take your money and disband.
Ah, damn. Verzuz done ran this course like that.
Yeah. Ooh. What else we gonna do?
I know.
We're gonna be doing posthumous verses. We're gonna be doing. You see,
we male hologram verses.
You see, we was doing like the 3-pack verses. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get all the Lils and get them together on the stage, and then now we got RSVP album coming soon. Is that what you want?
No, I don't know. We gotta. We have to start doing like label verses or
like that was, but that was the thing too, right? They had this whole Verzuz lineup, and the thing has always kind of been, kind of funny since it's got the Triller,
right?
Because they're trying to organize something that doesn't necessarily have the organization behind it. Like, we're talking about a Verzuz lineup of this, right? Mm-hmm. Remember that last schedule that was blurred out?
I do.
We're supposed to get a label Verzuz, right?
Yes.
Everybody speculates there's no limited cash money. That's the speculation. Mm-hmm. But
we ain't heard
nothing about
peep since.
Exactly, and that may be because of the business dealings that we're seeing here now. But even when Verzuz was rolling them out, right, it still lacked organization.
It did.
So it's kind of like, how can I get excited for something like this?
I'm not necessarily mad at that. I'm not mad at that take.
And the only reason I say this is because we're running out of matchups. That's the thing. It's not like this ain't like the organization that battle rap lacks, right? Mm-hmm. Because you still got matchups. You know what I'm saying? We can still figure this thing out. Mm-hmm. No. Where are we gonna get this unless you start getting like current people, unless you start getting like pop stars, unless you start doing labels, unless you start because we done did this producer songwriter thing. We have done. I think we've gotten all the big ones out the way. Mm-hmm. Unless we get Usher and Chris Brown. I know people keep pushing for that, but that's not necessarily something that I'm really, trying to see.
I don't think so either. After we had our conversation about it, and then after seeing the Mario and Omarion versus, I think I'm cool on Usher and Chris Brown now.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. Like, unless they can figure out how to get like current acts on the verses, or you have to start doing incorporating people that have done verses already and like mix matching. Yeah. That's the only way I feel like this can really continue unless they go back to the OG model where maybe you're not necessarily on Instagram, but something similar to that. Maybe not the artist on stage performing, but we get one person sitting somewhere and another person sitting somewhere, and now we just playing joints back and forth.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird with those things because I want this to work, and the thing is, if they falter, some bigger company, probably more mainstream, will pick this up and run with it.
It's true.
That's the part that I don't like, but that's why I say, hey man, take your money and go because this is about to get real nasty. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel, and that's just me going off of what I've seen throughout. Just what I've seen throughout life, right? We start something and then the mainstream picks it up and runs with it.
Always.
So I don't see how this is gonna work. Still, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if they can somehow make Versus into like a TV show or a series or something. I don't know. Or just take this shit on tour. I think they try to do that, but like, just take this shit on tour. Maybe do it like a trap karaoke type of thing.
Who would commit to that though?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because the Versus thing has been done before. Like, I mean, in a way, like Drake and Lil Wayne did like a Versus type of tour. That's what I mean. Okay. Like, it was like Drake versus Lil Wayne. It was like kind of like Street Fighter themed.
Okay. What year was it? During the Young Money heydays, like,
14, 15, 16, somewhere up in there.
Okay, got you. Yeah, man. I guess since they said that Versus will continue and will like go on, I'm just curious to see how they move forward. Like, you can't put this shit behind a paywall no more because clearly that model didn't work. I don't know what type of artist you're going to get unless you get labels like we just mentioned. Like, you get like multiple people on the same side to like go against each other. Otherwise, I don't see how you can continue. I really don't, man.
I don't know. It's a weird thing, but shout out to Swiss and Timbo for getting a big payout. But speaking of somebody getting a big payout, the Davies, Future Hendrix has gotten a big payout, an 8-figure payout for his. Hold on, let me see it. Publishing catalog. I just want to
get that right. Yep.
Johnny, what do you think about Future getting this big payout for his publishing deal?
8 of them things. Hold on. Another round of applause. Future has sold his catalog for estimated between $65 and $75 million. Congratulations to that man. Like, congratulations. Now, personally, do I think that might be a little undervalued? Yes, I will say that. I'm not the biggest Future guy, but I mean, Future has been on a crazy run since what year we talking?
2012.
2012. This is 10 years. 10 years of hits, right?
Mm-hmm. But they say 16 years. But I mean, I'm giving him 2012 when he dropped his first album.
Yeah. So listen, I am thoroughly happy for him, and Future is not like a past artist. He's still a current artist. So he still has, I guess, how many other years he decides to put the energy into his music. He could probably go another 10 years making more music, that people really want to listen to and maybe go on tour and stuff. So I'm not necessarily mad at this.
I actually agree with you on the undervalued part. I didn't think you would give him that much, right?
Listen, man.
No, it's because Future, even though he's he's older than us, but still he's a product of this streaming era. He's that guy, right? Yep. So those streaming numbers are probably stupid, right? Mm-hmm. Like for certain, certain numbers, right? So I think it's dope. We always champion the artists for cashing in on what they, Mm-hmm. Wow, hold on, he got just as much as Justin Timberlake. Because Justin got 100, right?
He got 100, yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? And then
the reason this is crazy is because Justin got more that you can flip into like family friendly shit, right? I'm trying to think, March Madness or Codeine Cowboy or something.
Hey man, look.
Going to the moon being flipped. I'm trying to figure out, bro. Like,
that's funny as hell.
I'm trying to figure this out, bro. But Future, ultimately, I think he deserves, right? Mm-hmm. Being one of the premier artists over the past 10 years. If you got somebody willing to pay for it and you don't feel like you're selling yourself for it, I mean, that's what you do, even in the music business, right? Mm-hmm. Some people don't get this opportunity.
Right.
And then let's keep the thou wow. He got 1 billion kids. So 75 M's.
I shouldn't have laughed like that. But
I'm
that's
just saying 75 M's don't sound too bad to a nigga that got about 8. You know what I'm saying?
No. Agree, right? And that makes perfect sense.
Now I know one of the baby moms like, oh really?
Right, look.
let's go back.
That's why you shouldn't put people's finances in the public like that.
This was gonna make news now.
That's crazy.
You talking about a-list rapper, A-list music star, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, artist, musical artist,
get 75 M's. You think this one gonna be talked about?
Man, listen.
Because every time someone has sold their catalog, we have talked about it here on OS, and I think other platforms have done the same. Mm-hmm. So I mean, obviously this is not something to like scoff over.
Right.
$75 million is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And then you talk about somebody that who constantly tours, like you said, is going to still put out music that the most people are still going to want to go listen to.
That's right.
And
you can't be mad at it.
I love it.
You can't be mad at it, man. Do you think there's a downside to this, like selling your publishing that you will no longer own? Do you think that's like, is there a downside to that? Because I try to look at it from the other perspective as well. Yeah. Like, how can that hurt him in any way?
When you get a $75 million payout, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I really don't. Like, I value his catalog from streaming and numbers aspect, not necessarily all of the music, but if somebody wants to give me 75 and I made Mask Off, like, you know what I'm saying? Right. But now when I heard Mask Off in like a,
you gonna
a Volkswagen commercial,
I was showing to say Ford or some shit. Like,
I don't know what to do, bro.
You gonna hear that shit every Halloween when the Johnny Brock's Dungeon shit pop up.
I mean, that's probably like how they'll start flipping that shit for like Marvel movies and shit.
I can see that. That should be kind of hard though. But that's the thing I think about when these artists do sell their publishing, right? It's like Future as the artist, right? I don't know what his team consists, like who is on his team and things like that. I don't know if people on Future's team can go out and get the types of licensing and publishing deals with these other movie studios or whoever that the people that he sold it to can. So like, why not? Hey, if I could get a really big payday, sure, why not? Because again, in Future's case, he's going to continue to make music. Like, this is not going to stop him from making music, because he could do another 10 years and sell that for another. Well, we'll adjust for inflation, another $115 million in 10, 11 years, right?
Because like me and you have talked about this, and then just the substance, what I think of Future's music has kind of dwindled over the past few years. So if I can do like, I can mumble my way or make melodic my way to another bag, hey, it is what it
Why
is.
not?
Because I think like Future's best music is clearly behind him. That's me. But not to say he can't make any good, any more music that's good or listenable or whatever, enjoyable. I think that can happen.
Got you. Yeah, man. Again, man, shout out to Future, man, because it's 75 M's? Shit, even 65 on the low end, like, still.
75.
What?
Man, I just want to give him the high end, though. I just want to give him the 75.
You imagine somebody calling us tomorrow saying they want to buy Oversaturated episodes? Send the contract. Run it, my boy. My boy.
But no, shout out to Future. Definitely a legend in the game, man. Definitely if you're getting 75 M's. But, man, speaking of another legend, Trina is poised to get the I Am Hip Hop Award at the BET Hip Hop Awards. It wasn't announced last week when we did our nominee run, but it definitely has made headlines this week. Johnny, what do you think about Trina getting the I Am Hip Hop Award this year?
Shout out to Trina, man. I cannot be mad. I cannot be mad at this. With over 20 years in hip hop, she definitely deserves this. She's the evolution of what Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown was, and then she paved the way for the newer women artists, women rappers that we have in the game today. So
yes,
I cannot be upset with this. I'm actually happy for her that she's receiving this.
Yeah,
I was trying to look back. She's not the first woman to receive this, is she?
I think Kim got it.
Okay, got you.
I think Kim got it.
Okay.
Before.
So from Lil' Kim to Trina, I'm definitely not upset with her receiving this award, man. This is dope as hell.
No, it very much is. Like, salute to Trina, man. Trina kind of like one of those forgotten hip hop artists because of, like you said, she's not Kim, she's not Foxy, she's not Missy, she's not Eve, but she is Trina, respectfully, right? Yes. Coming from Miami, kind of just paving her own way, being the queen of Southern rap for a long time, kind of being somebody that had a voice that never really was like her voice was amplified because nobody else sounded like her. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because between like the people that was like kind of in her peer group, you talking about Southern rap women MCs like the Mia X's, the Gangsta Boos, the LaChats, her voice stood out the most, maybe because of Brandon or whatever. But she being like quote unquote the queen of the South or whatever she called herself, like I mean Diamond Princess for sure. So I'm happy to see this, and then like definitely Trina's longevity is definitely linked to the fact that she's not afraid to rap with anybody or any of the people that she's clearly influenced. So like she's been on songs with Lotto. She does collabs with the City Girls. Like I'm not sure if her and Meg have anything, but clearly Meg's is influenced by Trina.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like
100%.
Clearly Lotto, clearly the City Girls, clearly like the younger female generation are the ones that are running rap right now. Yeah. For whatever you want to, call these young women, the Glorillas, like, those are her kids.
Yes.
Like she influenced them. So it's only right that she gets, her flowers, and she's deservedly so.
I don't think it's too often where we see rappers from when we were growing up still popular today, still relevant today, because like Ralph said, she's able to or willing to reach out and collab with the newer artists. Yeah. You never really hear about too much beef between her and other rappers, period, not men and women. You don't hear that about Trina, right? Yeah. So the fact that she's liked and respected in that regard has allowed her to have such a long career. And even outside of rap, she's done like I think the Love and Hip Hops, like those types of shows and different businesses and things like that. So she has even things outside of rap to help her progress and keep her relevant. So
radio host,
all that stuff, man. So man, again, shout out to Trina.
Like it's just good to see that someone can remain relevant without any controversy really surrounding them, right? Yes. Like you said, no beefs. But she'll rap with you.
Oh yeah.
But it's no beefs, no drama, no. The worst thing we talked about with Trina, I think in the past year or so, was remember when she had that rant about what happened in Miami and they ransacked her friend's shop, and then she called people monkeys on the radio. Like, yeah. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That was it.
Yeah, that's the most controversy we've ever
had
seen from Trina. So,
but she had, and then
out of 20 years,
then the cultural icon technically, because remember she had niggas running around with the kiss marks on the neck.
I do.
That was Trina.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I seen a few people actually have that tattooed on their neck, but that's a whole nother story for another day. Yeah. And then even on top of all that we just said, right, where her having the cosign from Trick Daddy, right, when she initially came out, but then being able to, I don't want to say like break away from that. Of course, she's her and Trick Daddy still like this, right? Yeah. But for her to be able to
stand on
her own, like come in with that cosign, but then when she got to her peak, she still stood on her own without needing to go back to Trick Daddy to say, hey, can you help me type shit. So
and Trina played well with everybody else, because if you know, she was a frequent collaborator with like Missy. Like,
you
know what I'm saying? Like she'll bounce around and almost looks like a Swiss Army knife when it came to rap. And Trina was never short of hits, because remember we had to go back and when we was talking about verses. Remember we thought, well, I didn't think this. I just thought that. He's like Eve was gonna do this. I'm like, I don't know.
Nah, I think I was what to do. But no, she learned.
I didn't want to say it. But
she learned.
It's just I didn't want to say it. But she just had a string of hits, and she just it's like we talked about. Do you want your peak to be the 2-3 years where it's clear, or would you prefer to just be very, very, very consistent for a very long time? And that's what Trina's been.
Word. So again, I'm going to have to actually watch this BET Hip Hop Awards, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I say this all the time, but I don't have cable, right? So I like go to my mom's house and watch it and shit. But I feel like for whatever reason, from us talking about the nominees last week, because the nominees were really, really solid, and then to see Trina is getting this Icon Award is like, it seems as if this award show is going to be real special.
I think they're doing right for the most part by hip hop.
Yeah, right.
And that's the thing.
That's all he has.
Trina's not gonna get honored at, let's say, the Grammys or the VMAs or anything like that. But she's ours, and she should be honored.
Word.
Just for her longevity, just for her contribution, just for her legacy. So
I love it, man.
But no, we got a last thing here. Student loan forgiveness.
Oh.
Student loan forgiveness, right?
Word.
We're talking about some dates here. It might be beneficial to the listeners. It might be beneficial to me because I got some money I got to pay back. You know what I'm talking about? But Johnny,
Yeah.
what do you have for this?
I found this thread on Twitter. So this is at Duke Loves Taxes. So shout out to him for completing this thread. So these are just a few dates that are important, right? So in October this year, so in October 2022, there's an application for student loan forgiveness that's going to be released. So the Department of Education is recommending that everyone apply regardless if you get automatic forgiveness or not. So this is just information that we want to get to y'all just in case any of our listeners have student loans and are looking to get their loans forgiven, right? So November 15th, 2022 is the deadline to apply for student loan forgiveness. So the application comes out in October. It doesn't give a specific date, but we'll keep an eye on that. But November 15th is the last day to apply for student loan forgiveness. All right. And then it says January 1st, 2023, if your entire balance is not erased, interest will begin accruing again, and the remaining balance and regular payments will resume. So they pushed the like the non-payments, they pushed that to January 1st. So we don't have to pay any student loan payments until January 1st. That's when they kick back in. So that's when interest will start accruing again. So the application comes out in October. You have to apply by November 15th, 2022. And then we have to resume payments on our student loans in January. So January 1st is when those payments kick back in. So we just wanted y'all to know about that. Again, that ad is at Duke Loves Taxes, DUKE Loves Taxes. So shout out to him for this. We just wanted to let y'all know that just in case y'all were wondering, because this is definitely helpful to me. So that's all I got.
Check your emails, people. Pretty much. I ain't got nothing for it. I don't care about none of that. Like, I don't really want to pay them niggas. So
I mean, it's true. It's true. I was sure thinking about putting my shit back and forth barrels again.
Saying, and it's very helpful information.
Yeah, because you would think that they have a list of everybody that has student loans and they would just apply the shit, right? But no, we know the government don't work. It's too right? Easy. It's never that easy. So I don't want anybody to miss out on getting their loans forgiven. So that's why I would just, want to provide that information.
Very helpful information. Man. But yeah, if you couldn't tell, we're clearly at the end of our docket.
Yeah, man.
Johnny, what do you have for the people?
If you're on YouTube, we appreciate you for rocking with us this long. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share this with your people. Hit the comment section. Let us know about any of the topics we discussed today, and we'll catch y'all next week. Mm-hmm. Now, if you are on audio, you know what time it is.
Song of the week.
Song of the week. We are here. WKOS, baby. Hey, man. I might have to let this whole song rock.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.